Hello and good evening, my fellow creeps. Today is Wednesday, and you're here at DadPooL's Discussions. I'm your host, the one and only DadPooL, and today is day 25 of DadPooLoWeen. Day 25. It's been an epic month. We've talked about a lot of movies, and again, these movies aren't like rated any specific way. These are movies that I love to watch, and there's tons more that I watch during the month, but these are the ones I want to talk about because I feel like they've either had a huge effect on society or film itself, or have heavily influenced the future of a franchise or a different franchise. So that's why today we're going to talk about one of the most groundbreaking, epic, you know, top of the top horror movies, psychological horror movies of all time. And if you can guess by my avatar what movie I'm talking about, Silence of the Lambs. Yes, 1991. Can't believe this movie is 32. It's crazy. It's just watching it again, and I know I've said this before on other films, but this movie just holds up. This movie just has it all. This movie has that tension, that dialogue that's just so quippy back and forth between Clarice and Dr. Lecter. This is a to quote my friend David. This is a perfect movie, and I highly recommend that you give it a look, give it a watch. I mean, we'll talk about the plot of this movie. We'll talk about the casting. We'll talk about the franchise as a whole, um, the sequel, the prequels, not one but two TV shows. Yeah, two TV shows. So yeah, we'll touch on all of that. We'll go through some images, and of course, I always show you my AI mashup of DadPooL within that movie's universe. So it's DadPooL within Silence of the Lambs. One of them you see right here is Avatar. Very cool to see DadPooL in a Hannibal Lecter mask. But yeah, let's get into it. So this movie came out Valentine's Day of 1991. So where were you Valentine's Day 1991? I was 15. I probably had a girlfriend. I don't think we watched this movie when it first came out. I could tell you that it wasn't something. I know that I didn't see this movie until probably I was 18 or so. So yeah, I was a little late to the party, not too late. But this movie, fabulous. It's just under 2 hours long, so it's a decent watch. There's no there's no lull. So like you could sit there, the 2 hours it just goes by so fast before you know it's end the movie, because there's so much going on, and it's nonstop, either interactions or stuff happening on screen and the story developing. It's the camera angles just draw you into the movie, so you're like hypnotized during this film, and you just soak it all in. And that 2 hours is just nothing. Time stands still. This was directed by Jonathan Demme, uh, based on the book by Thomas Harris. Incredible cast. Before that, we'll talk about the budget of about 20 million, and the box office took in around 273. great for that for that for that time frame, for that era. It's so good that it's the first horror movie to get Oscar fame. It didn't just win one. It didn't just win two. It was five Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Anthony Hopkins, Best Actress and Jodie Foster, Best Adapted Screenplay. And it's like I said, it was the first horror movie to win Best Picture. So this movie was kind of a big deal. And if it's not, like I said, if it's not on your list, then yeah, you better hop to it. No Time Like the Present. It's over. I think it's showing on Max right now, so you can go check out that. If you don't have Max, you might be able to. I mean, there's ways to find it. You might, check online, but Max is the streaming platform that it's on right now. So let's talk about this plot, and then actually before we get into the plot, let's talk about the cast, because this cast is amazing. Obviously, it's Academy Award winning cast. Jodie Foster, and to be honest, I was never a big Jodie Foster fan. She just, I don't know, something about her just wasn't my thing. I was never a huge backer of Jodie Foster, but this movie, all the credit to be able to say the lines that she had to say in the movie and just go through that interaction, and you can see the look on her face, you can feel her tears, you can feel when her heart pounded and she sweated. I mean, she put Oscar worthy action. I mean, it's just performance awesome. Anthony Hopkins, Dr. Hannibal Lecter. We all know Anthony Hopkins. He's tremendous range, and just watching him, how he looks, he has that facial expression and doesn't break character and doesn't break that face. It's just so stoic, and his delivery is top notch. I would recommend watching this movie with the captions on. I don't know, I kind of been doing that lately. I get to see and hear more of the things that you don't pick up, like some of the ambiance in the background, maybe some of the dialogue that you don't distinctively hear. That caption will pick it up, and it just adds more context. You had Scott Glenn as Jack Crawford, and Ted Levine, who played Buffalo Bill. What an iconic character. I mean, that character is mimicked on so many different shows, in a joking manner. I mean, the song, what is it, Wild Horses or something like that? Like, that song is just, that's Buffalo. That Sounds of the Lambs. That movie. That character when you hear that song. We also had Casey Lemons, who played Jodie Foster's friend, who would appear a year later in Candyman alongside Virginia Madsen. So it was good to see. He also had a cameo by Chris Isaac, the singer. He played the SWAT guy in the movie. It's good to catch up on that. You had Anthony Heald as Dr. Frederick Chilton. Again, he did an amazing job. And then Brooke Smith as Catherine Martin. I mean, for her to play that part and be able to deliver that torment and that fear and that emotion, you felt it when she's crying for her mom and she wants to hug it. It kind of gets to Buffalo Bill, because you can see him just tend to just lose it there and realize you can almost see a little bit of human nature in him. a little bit, because he looks like he's about to break down and cry, and instead he just blurts out an expletive and just gets mad. But just a riveting scene. Again, no harming of any animals in the movie. Darla, who played Precious, nothing was damaged. Good to see Darla make it out alive. So this movie, we see Clarice Starling as an FBI trainee is assigned by her boss, Jack Crawford, to interview the incarcerated Hannibal Lecter, a highly intelligent former psychiatrist and cannibalistic serial killer. Crawford secretly hopes to get insights into a psychopathic serial killer known as Buffalo Bill, who kills overweight women and skins them. So Starling meets Lecter in his cell at the Baltimore State Hospital for the criminally insane. Although initially courteous, Lecter rebuffs her, deducing Crawford's true motive. As she is leaving, another prisoner, Miggs, flings a sticky white substance at her, angering Lecter, who changes his mind and provides Starling a clue. The clue leads to a jar holding a man's severed head. The man is linked to Buffalo Bill, and Lecter offers to profile the killer on the condition that he is transferred away from Dr. Frederick Chilton, whom he detests. And in that one scene, it was kind of funny there when Clarice is talking about where he'll go upon, helping out. She said Oneida Park, New York, which there's no Oneida Park in New York, but there is an Oneida, so it's kind of like referencing an upstate rural, which is where I live. So it was kind of cool to see that on film, and see that fictional yet realistic city mentioned. Meanwhile, Lecter influences Muggs into swallowing his own tongue and committing suicide, presumably to avenge his revolting action towards Starling. And another victim is found with one of the moths lodged in her throat. They determine it's the Death's Head moth. I guess it's indigenous to Asia. So if someone would have to smuggle them into the States and like the guy says, really show them love and honey and warmth and grow these moths. In Tennessee, Buffalo Bill abducts Catherine Martin, the daughter of a U.S. senator. Crawford authorizes Starling to offer Lecter a fake deal, promising a prison transfer if he helps them capture Buffalo Bill in time to rescue Catherine. Like I said, that's where she says you can go to a VA facility in Oneida Park, New York, and you can go outside, you can swim, and just kind of live the life that Hannibal Lecter wants to live instead of living in that four-walled cell with no view. So Lecter agrees and is flown to Memphis. Actually, Lecter demands a quid pro quo, offering clues in exchange for personal information about Starling. She agrees, and they go back and forth, and he wants to know about her childhood and why'd she run away, and very, very compelling scene. But Dr. Chilton, who is a sneaky little devil, exposes Starling's deceit and offers Lecter a new deal, and that's when he agrees and is flown to Memphis, where he gives Senator Martin accurate information on Buffalo Bill's appearance, but falsely identifies him as Lewis' friend. Starling figures out the name is an anagram of iron sulfide, aka fool's gold. She visits Lecter, now in prison in Tennessee. She describes a traumatic child incident where she heard lambs screaming at the slaughter in the barn but could not save them. Lecter speculates that she hopes saving Catherine will end the reoccurring nightmares that she has from this event. She goes into detail how she wants to rescue the one lamb, but it's too heavy, and she gets caught, and then eventually that lamb is led to slaughter, and she's terrorized as a young kid. Satisfied, he returns the case files to her. That evening, Lecter brutally kills 2 guards and escapes from his cell. With her notes from Lecter, Starling figures out that Buffalo Bill knew his first victim, Frederica Bimmel. She travels to Bimmel's Ohio hometown and discovers that she and Buffalo Bill were both tailors. In Bimmel's room, she finds evidence that reveals Buffalo Bill is making a suit with human skin. The culprit is a man named James Gum, who believes he is a transsexual but was deemed too violent to apply for the sex change operation. Crawford and an FBI hostage rescue team storm Gum's address in Illinois but find the house empty. Meanwhile, Starling follows a lead that takes her to the house of Bimmel's former client. There, she meets the real James Gum, realizing he is Buffalo Bill after spotting a death's head moth. She pursues him and finds Catherine trapped in a dry well in the cavernous basement. Grum stalks Starling with night vision goggles, but reveals himself by cocking his revolver. She quickly, instinctively, boom, reacts, shoots him dead. At the FBI graduation party, Starling receives a phone call from Lecter, who was in the Bahamas at a Bimini airport. He assures her that he has no intention of pursuing her and requests that she return the favor, which she says she cannot. He hangs up, stating that he is having an old friend for dinner, as he trails a newly arrived Chilton into the crowd. Yes, the man that was taking care and responsible of Dr. Lecter is now being hunted by Dr. Lecter. And then we just pan away with Hannibal walking down the street. Again, from the time the movie kicks off to that scene at the end when he's walking away, at 2 hours seems like 2 minutes. It really goes by fast. It's a great watch. Very, again, like I said, intense film. There was a sequel called Hannibal that came out in 2001. Jodie Foster did not return. Anthony Hopkins did return. He also returned in the prequel film Red Dragon, which came out in 2002. But a young Hannibal Lecter, played by Gaspard Ulliel, came out in 2007. It was called Hannibal Rising. There was also, which I found out, a TV series called Clarice, which I was able to find online. I watched the first episode because the first episode picks up after the events of the Silence of the Lambs film, and I'm just not too. I mean, I may watch the whole series. I believe there's like 11 or 12 episodes. There's only one season. I don't know. I'm just not feeling the Clarice character, played by Rebecca Breeds. I'm just not. I think it's over. I think Rebecca Breeds is acting like she's Jodie Foster, acting like Clarice. It's too much. It's over the top. And then there was a Hannibal series, which, again, cut way too short, which is another adaptation of Red Dragon and Hannibal Rising, taking place before Silence of the Lambs, starring Mads Mikkelsen. Excellent show, like I said, cut too short. Those are available to find on streaming as well. It's like I said, this movie not only put horror on the map and where you can take it seriously because of the Oscar nominations and the Oscar wins, but this dark, twisted type horror was starting to blossom. And again, this movie belongs on the Mount Rushmore of not just horror movies in general, but possibly of all films, of all time. It's that good. Like I said, I recommend to watch. It's something I would watch any day of the week and twice on Sundays. It's that good, but it's something that I definitely try to keep tabs on. during October, during spooky season, just because it invigorates everything spooky and crazy that this month brings. So a little like added tidbits and nuggets about the film. At 24 minutes and 52 seconds of screen time, Anthony Hopkins' performance is the second shortest to win an Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role, behind David Niven's 23 minutes and 39 seconds for Separate Tables in 1958. In terms of percentage of runtime, Hopkins is the shortest, as he only appears in 21% of the film. That just goes to show the impact of that character, that performance, the actor, everything. For him to only be on screen, but having that performance that just thwarts him into and thrusts him into a Best Actor, not only nomination but win. It's again all the more to go see this, all the more to check it out. Again, Jodie Foster, Academy Award winner for this movie, Best Actress. I can see why. I'm just not interested in any other Jodie Foster movies. Sorry, but let's go through some of these images that I have, and so this is the cast here. We have Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, and there's Scott Glenn, who plays Jack Crawford, Clarice's boss. And of course, we all know what this is. We have the iconic, Hannibal Lecter mask that has widely been duplicated and replicated in a series of movies, whether it's a horror or a comedy or a cartoon. This is iconic in its own right, and it should be. What a great performance. Here's the look I was talking about. He just has that stoic, locked in look when he's conversing with anyone. He just, whether it's Clarice or whether he's talking with the guards or whether he's talking to the senator or even his own doctor, it's just his looks is everything. He's always thinking 20 steps ahead, not just 10, 20 steps ahead, if not more. This guy is deliberate, smart, intuitive. He picks up anything. He knows it all just by how you respond, tone of your voice, and your body language. Again, killer performance. And speaking of killer performances, here's the part where Lecter escapes in Tennessee when the two guards come up to bring him a last meal, another meal that he wanted. I think he wanted rare lamb chops, and he had that pen from the doctor earlier on the film, so that was like a little bit of foreshadowing, and he used that part of the pen to undo his handcuffs and be able to subdue these guards and then escape using the guard's face. Wow, very powerful. That whole sequence is amazing, and then here we have Dr. Chilton kind of saying, you're gonna do this, right? If I do this for you, you're gonna cooperate and you're gonna help this senator, and we're gonna do my deal. We're not gonna do the FBI's deal. I'm gonna get you this deal. And again, the relationship that these two have on screen is just as impactful and powerful as Clarice and Dr. Lecter have on screen. It's I don't even know any more words to say it. It's just, this movie is so good. So there's some variations. There's a one one picture of DadPooL, myself wearing the mask. There's another one with a little bit more darker, a little bit more bloody, more sinister. And then this is actually a scene from, I believe it's Red Dragon, where he's eating at dinner. That's a creepy picture. I kind of like that picture, though. I don't know. I may use that for something else. And then when I did Silence of the Lambs and DadPooL Mashup, it saw me chilling with a lamb, which almost looks like the picture that Dr. Lecter's drawing, the sketch of Clarice with the lamb. Now I see where they drew this from, where they got this inspiration from, because you can see that's, and I think it was, is that Buffalo Bill on screen? I don't know, on the TV screen, and woo, got the popcorn, and we're just chilling. Oh, that's my dog. I don't know what that's doing on there. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on Silence of the Lambs? Is this a movie you love? What do you rate it? What do you think of the prequels, the sequel, the TV shows? Have you seen them? What do you think of the character itself as Hannibal? Have you read the books? Have you listened to the audiobooks? And how well do you think they adapted the book to the big screen? Let me know in the comments all your thoughts. And then while you're heading down there, make sure you smash that like button, share it out, and subscribe or follow, because we have more content that'll be coming out. Because DadPooLoWeen, again, this is day 25. It's almost over. Next month, we'll be starting to do, in addition to DadPooL's discussion, it's going to be a Horror Then and Now series, where I'll be talking about original movies versus the remake and reboots for horror franchises. So the first franchise is Hellraiser. So we have the 87 versus 2022. Can't wait to do that. I love them both personally. I know a lot of people really are turned off by the 2020 the Hulu version, the Hulu Hellraiser, but I can appreciate it. So I'll have some really good insight and comparisons to go over when this series debuts in about a week or so. I think I'm gonna have it come out on every Friday in November. So if there's a movie or franchise that you want to debate, talk about, compare, from the original to the remake, you want to hop on, let me know. Send me a message, leave a comment below, and we'll get in touch, and I'll have you on, and we can discuss that franchise. Absolutely, more the merrier. And then in the month of December, we'll be doing DadPooL 25 Days of Christmas Horror. We're similar to DadPooLoWeen. I'm doing Christmas slashers, dark themed Christmas movies. I'll be reviewing a different movie every day. There's more than half are movies that I haven't seen for the season, so I'm excited to have a first time watch and reaction, and hopefully they'll make the list maybe next year, or maybe they'll just, it'll be a one-time thing. But turn on those notifications so we both can live out these movies and these experiences together. I also have working on series for 50 greatest villains and heroes in film, along with the 100 greatest films of all time. So yeah, look out for that content to come out in the future. And if there's something that you want to do, if there's something you want to make, let me know. We'll make it together. We'll put a video out, or we'll go live. I'm all for it. As long as I'm walking, talking, breathing, I'll be able to do this stuff and bring you the content that you want and that you love. So lastly, I put a post up on YouTube on the community page to vote, a poll to see which new DadPooL discussions logo you like. and it'll also be put on a shirt so you can vote. So here's the first image. There's that one. Here's the next one. And then here's the third one. So let me know in the comments or of this video what you think is the best. There's also a poll you can vote on my community page on my YouTube. Go check it out, vote on it, and we'll make it happen. I'll probably make that change first of the year. I'll start using that logo. So vote away, comment away, and big things are, good things, big things are happening. So make sure you join the Discord off the links in the description of this video. Follow me on TikTok. Check out the merch store. Check out the Twitch. The YouTube. Wherever you watch content, I'll be there. And if you could drop a follow and make sure the notifications are on, I would greatly appreciate it. And again, if you could share it out with everyone. The more, like I said, the more the merrier, the bigger the community, and we can get all these DadPooligans together. I want to thank you for day 25 for coming here, watching or listening, whether it's tonight or later on after it's released. Silence of the Lambs, excellent movie, an absolute 10 out of 10. Go check it out. And as I always say, watch a movie. So maybe this could be the movie you want to watch, amongst just so many other choices. But just watch a movie, enjoy, laugh, cry, get scared, just enjoy that time that you're spending. Make it a great one, make it a memorable one. And then always hug your loved ones. So until the next video, this is DadPooL saying, I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Bye.